Hello everybody and welcome back to Pokemon White 2. So last time we faced up against some more members of Team Plasma in Driftveil City, and we've also met up with Bianca yet again, and we have also defeated a big set of I want to say the majority of the trainers are good 5. Now, I think there is still at least 1 or 2 more trainers that we still have to defeat before we get to, before we meet up with the cyclist. Before he hands us off to Driftveil City. Yeah, there they are. Yeah, now it is indeed these two. Okay, now as I am just gonna be faced off against these two, I may as well once again go on with continue with the Pokemon anime appearances. Okay, so next on the list is Krokorok. Now, after the Universe anime, Krokorok didn't show up once during the entirety of the Kalos series. Then it appeared. It only got only one background appearance during the entirety of the Alola series. And then it came back. Then it also got to be brought back again for only 1 episode of Journeys. And then Krokorok has gotten at least 3 appearances so far within Horizons. Yeah. Even though Krokorok has been in almost every series after the Universe anime, I still wish that Krokorok actually would have gotten even more appearances than they. I wish that Krokorok would have gotten even more appearances. Oh well. What are you gonna do? Okay, everyone. So next on our list is Zebstrika. Now, after the Universe anime, unlike Blitzel, after the Universe anime, Zebstrika got to return only 1 time during the entirety of the Kalos series. But then that's when Zebstrika stopped showing up. Yeah, until just like Blitzel, we got to the Horizon series, where also unlike Blitzel, excuse me. Yeah, where unlike a Blitzel, Zebstrika's only shown up in Horizons once. Yeah. Yeah, fortunately, Zebstrika still doesn't get that many appearances outside of the Universe anime. Blitzel and Zebstrika could definitely get more screen time than what they've gotten. Yeah. Okay, so and with that, I'm officially caught up with the Pokemon that we have encountered so far. So yeah, now all I have to do is wait until we get to our next set of encounters. Yeah, it's definitely taken me quite a while for me to finally be able to be caught up, but. Yeah, finally, huh? But anyways, everyone, now what this big crowd here is all about. Yeah, apparently this guy wanted to defeat the cyclist, which just so happens to be Charles. Yeah, the very same Charles that we actually met within the pre-equal titles. And if we want to get to Driftveil City, we're gonna have to defeat Charles first. And also for those of you who have played Black and White, may recall the battle format that you actually got to battle Charles in. Now, which was indeed rotation slash which was for rotation battles in black, and also triple battles in white. Now the same still occurs here. Now the same still occurs here. You're gonna be battling Charles in a triple battle in a white too, and you're gonna be facing off and you're gonna be battling Charles in a rotation battle in black too. Now, since we are now back to the concept of rotation and triple battles. Now, I guess I should also bring up another change that they did for Black 2 and White 2. You see, for those of you who recall, Black and White, yeah, there were only a few times where the game would make you would go through, you know, either triple or rotation battles. Yeah, whereas for the actual overworld, when you face off against regular trainers in the routes and such, yeah, there really wasn't a single trainer. There really wasn't a single regular trainer that you would get to face off against in a triple slash rotation battles. Whereas, but however, the major change within the Black 2 White 2 is that there is now going to be several trainers that we are going to face off against within the routes, where you actually do get to be where there are going to be more for rotation and triple battles. Now, but however, unlike last time, where rotation were only exclusive to a black, but however, unlike last time, where the battle formats were version exclusives, but the only exception to that this time is actually with this battle right here. Yeah, all the other trainers that we're gonna be fighting on the routes. Now you can actually go through both the rotation and triple battles, no matter which version that you're playing. And goddamn, man, yeah, damn, the first time Lucario ever used bone, like a bone rope, yeah. That was the first time Lucario's ever utilized a bone rush, and the first two were crits, and yeah, the first two hits were freaking crits. Damn. Okay, I'm guessing that was really a good call for me to teach my Lucario bone rush then. Yeah. Now the main reason why I taught my Lucario bone rush in the first place. Yeah, it was just so I could at least have my Lucario finally have another attack and move. Whereas I really wasn't planning on having copycat for a long run. You know, whereas when it comes to from Bone Rush, yeah, I'm not gonna be keeping that move for the. Now, I'm only going to be keeping that move until we actually get some more banner moves for Lucario. So yeah, but as you saw, with the fact that I utilized Bone Rush for the first time, and again, 2 of those hits were freaking crits. Jeez. Yeah, again, that was indeed a good call for me to teach my Lucario from Bone Rush. Yeah. And also, also everyone, now as you saw with that battle with Charles, now he does not have the same Pokemon that he had last time. That of course being a Crunkerrock, Basculin, and a Zebstrika. This time he actually utilized Sigilif And the 2 fossil Pokemon that, again, you're not gonna get without trading until the post-game. Yeah, so at the very least, thanks to Charles, yeah, we at the very least got to see both of them now. So, yeah, some of that. Okay, everyone. Now that said, now that we defeated Charles, we can now once again cross the Driftveil Drawbridge. Now we're like last time. Now this is indeed the only location in the entire game where you can actually get Ducklett. And it is still the only location where you can also get a Swanna. Or unless if you want to wait until post game, then you can actually try to catch, so that you can actually try to catch your very own Swanna. Now, instead of you actually now just in case if you just want to skip out on Ducklett entirely. Yeah, but anyways, yeah. Anyways, everyone. As you saw, if you talk to that person, you get access to your next Funfest mission, which again, as I said, I'm not gonna bother tackling any full one of those Funfest missions whatsoever. But anyways, everyone. Also, everyone. Just like last time, in both of the Driftveil Drawbridge and the Marvelous Bridge, they will when you hear flapping noises, and then you'll see the shadow of the thing that's flying. You'll either encounter Ducklett or Swanna, or you'll be getting one of the feathers that can actually increase your Pokemon stats. All feathers except for the pretty wings. The pretty wings are just there if you wanna. If you simply just want to get money, yeah. Now I'm definitely gonna stay here a while. Yeah, until I actually get my for a Ducklett appearance. Come on, where are you, bitch? Oh, there's that. Dang it. Okay, yeah, pretty one again. Of course, that means that it's something I could easily just sell. That's stuff of money. Ducklett, there you go. And now here comes Ducklett. But anyways, anyways, everyone. Now after I catch this Ducklett, I'm gonna be taking my time going over those weights I just got, so that I can of course increase our Pokemon stats. Yeah. Now, and since we just encountered Tirtouga, Archen, and now Ducklett, I can now go over their Pokemon anime appearances now. Now, whereas, okay, so next up on the list is, Tirtouga. Yeah, not much to say about Tirtouga. Yeah, considering with the fact that, yeah, Tirtouga, to this day, still hasn't gotten that many anime appearances. The only time that it's ever gotten it was within both versions of the Vicatini movie, and then it got 2 episodes of the Universe anime, but it was more so because there was an arc. There was the 2-episode arc that involved both Tirtouga and also like Caracosta. And then after that, Tirtouga never showed up again until at least one episode of Journeys, where more so the second half of an episode where it mostly focused on turtle-like Pokemon, like Tirtouga, Tirtouga, Chewtle, and Turtwig. Yeah, but other than that, yeah, again, but then after that, Tirtouga never showed up again. Yeah, and the same also goes, but Archen, on the other hand, has it worse. Yeah, Archen has only shown up only 3 times in the entirety of the anime. And that is only 3 episodes of the Universe series, and Archen has not shown up ever since. Yeah, honestly, Unova fossil Pokemon, they can definitely get their own. Yeah, they definitely need more screen time. Yeah, much more. Yeah, I would say the Unova fossil Pokemon are definitely have gotten the least amount of appearances out of every single fossil Pokemon out there. Well, I guess if you want to count the Galarian fossils, then Arctovish and Dracozolt have yet to make an appearance. Sure. Yeah, sure. But then, as for the other fossils, yeah, but then as for the other fossil Pokemon, yeah, the rest have been getting something. Yeah, which includes some Tyrantrum, which includes some Tyrantrum, and also Aurorus. Whereas Tirtouga, Caracosta, Archen, and also Archeops, they have not shown up like much. They barely even give those fossils anything. Like, jeez, guys, give them for God's sake, give them some love for once. Jeez. Okay, everyone. Now, last up on our list, as of right now, is indeed Ducklet. Now after the Unova anime, Ducklet got to show up in a plenty of got a few background appearances within the Kalos series. Then it didn't show up one time within the Alola series. Then it showed up at least twice. Within the entirety of Journeys. Then Ducklet has shown up at least a few times within. Then Ducklet has shown up at least a few times within Horizons. Now, for one of which was actually utilized by the doppelganger of Dodd, named Dash. And for those of you who have seen Horizons, we now know that Ducklet is now a Swanna. So yeah, that will, and with that will, well, unless if we actually see those doppelganger characters again, yeah, we are never gonna see Ducklett or Swanna after that. Yeah, probably not. Probably not ever again. Yeah. Okay, everyone. Now once again, I am now caught up. Okay, now as for the Pokemon, I'm gonna give the Muscle Wing 2. Yeah, I would say that Lucario and Dilmon have definitely gone at least a good chunk of attack, and definitely has Crobat. Yeah, and Kroggerog is also doing, and Kroggerog is also doing relatively well. But Growlithe, yeah, Growlithe could definitely, yeah, I would say Growlithe could definitely use that. But anyways, the muscle wing I'm gonna give to is Dewott. Yeah, because his actual attack stat was actually more lower. Yeah, but as everyone with that said, that should be all I'm gonna do with this part. And so for the next part, we're gonna be entering once again Driftveil City. And so to then, I'll see you guys next time.